You're welcome back to the Middlemen. My case, Floodgazers. They sat upon their hands and counted their fingers and asked the question frankly, will the floods really come, as the weatherman had said? But when the waters kept on creeping, they became somewhat concerned and wrote 100 memos, then held a strategy session, then paid a courtesy visit, then formed a special committee to implement a 50-point plan. But by then, the floods had bombed too far. My verdict: the man who cannot dominate his environment is living in less than his manhood. Yet again, let Nigeria arise.
So they were busy asking question at the beginning whether the flood will come really.
Yeah, well.
By predictions.
When the rains are heavy.
And by experience. So they were deliberating and setting up committees. And they're thinking about it intensely. Not solution. No. They will just say, will it really come? And if it comes, forget about it. Until the flood came.
How far will it go?
Until the flood, just like...
and that's true, that's what happened.
Yes,
just like... was in the report that the dam is getting full.
Just like Noah's Ark, when he was building the Ark, the people were mocking him, saying that...
It has never rained before.
What is this one doing?
What's the meaning of rain?
What is it doing and all that? And when the flood came, nobody told them that it was already late, and that's what happened.
Very true.
Now, you see, the flood came down to a point where it did not only sack the people from their dwelling places, it also sacked animals from the zoo. And the whole place was overcast, so that
even
people...
From their graves.
So at the end of the day,
and prisoners
what it tells us is that we are not prepared people. Okay? In those days when we were in secondary school, when we joined the Boy Scout, our motto is be prepared. So we're being taught how to manage emergency, how to look at the future, how to, manage our situation and keep ourselves safe. But the whole country is not able to do that. It's Maiduguri today. Tomorrow, no one knows where the
it will be Anambra tomorrow.
Flood is going
every
to.
time.
Every
time they open the dam.
Consistently, we know that this Cameroon dam every year it gets filled up, and once it gets filled up like this,
they open it.
They will release the water for them to have space. And when they open that water, it flows into the country. There's no wedge anywhere. There's no wedge. The whole of Netherlands is a piece of land in the ocean. Okay? But they've been able to, keep that place safe on top of the water for so many years with technology. And if you see, Netherlands is one of the highest producer of agricultural produce in the world. A small, tiny space that is sitting on water that ordinarily should be referred to as a wasteland. But with thoughtfulness and leadership,
sir,
they are able to bring natural disaster under control, keep their people safe, grow crops, feed the world, and at the same time, explore.
Grow crops all year round.
You understand? All year round.
3 things.
Here, we're not growing crops. We're not taking care of the environment. People are defecating on the expressway as I'm talking to you.
This matter, they always let you every
and we keep violating the environment, and we want the environment to everywhere
to protect us.
Yeah, so we cannot be protected because of the way we handle the environment.
3 things come at me immediately. 1, Professor Zulum of Borno State is somebody that I respect a lot, particularly how in his first term he came, he knew what the problems were and attacked them head on.
Yeah.
He hit the ground running, right? In terms of terrorism, and he's a governor who's not only compassionate, he's there, he's, on ground. When there's a crisis, Professor Zulum is there. I'm amazed that under him, right, we know that there's a dam and the rains are heavy. We're forming a committee to question, will the dam turn over, annually, right? We know that our dams get full. They need to be opened. In fact, there's a period every year that we know we have more power because there's more rainwater supply to our dams. Secondly, there are 2 rivers, River Benue and River Niger, that we know of, right? And there are dams. There's a Nigerian-Cameroon arrangement. Cameroon built their own part. Nigeria
did not.
Refused
to build.
Every time Cameroon opens their own dams, from Kogi to Anambra into the Atlantic Ocean,
yeah.
all the roads, all the villages, everywhere goes underwater every year. We witnessed it last year. How do we experience natural disaster year after year without leadership coming together to prevent it?
And sit on our hands.
And you have ecological funds, you have security votes.
I almost called that Buhari now. Under Buhari, they were fighting. No, I almost called that Buhari. The Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, what was her name? That tall lady. That was that at the point they said wanted to get married to the president. No, that one no. Disaster management.
Disaster management.
Farouk. She was saying that Katsina was worst hit. Then the governor of Bayelsa said that's not true. And I say, you people,
is it worst hit that people are competing for?
Yes, they are trying to own who have the highest disaster.
Who has the highest more victims?
As against working against your opponent.
Somebody coming from Bayelsa that it was raining and they were afraid because the floods were gathering. Now, in 2010, there was a serious flood.
Yeah, that got to Delta.
Lagos and Ogun.
Yeah, doing Delta State.
Yes, and Jonathan, you remember Jonathan came here. He was around, Kara and the rest of it. He said a number of areas. And then he approved money, for Lagos, for Ogun State, and I think for Delta. So then thereafter, he appealed to the World Bank to set up a program, which now became Newman. They called it Newman. It was to last for 10 years. It lasted for 10 years actually. But by the end of 10 years, Nigeria was still not ready to end the program. So the World Bank extended it by 2 years.
Imagine.
Now, the program ended last year. And then the World Bank immediately set up another program they called Acrisol. Acrisol. Now, that program, if you look at Acrisol Borno State, it says that one of the environmental problems of Borno State is shortage of water. Another problem just next to it is flood. And I said in the same place, shortage of water, flood. Is it not easy? I mean,
a travesty of reality.
Answer translate the question.
Yes, now.
As in literature.
Very simple.
So I said there are three things.
Now, for 12 years, you had this Newman, under which you should have trained geologists, climatologists, and all of that, who could just solve.
Nigerian geologists work in banks.
They are teaching
they've not relocated.
No, but no state.
Nigerian geologists work in banks.
Boko Haram.
We don't use them.
Boko Haram kidnapped geologists at Unimid one time.
Yes.
They were drilling for oil.
Which that's very serious because they went without the knowledge of the joint task force that was even operating in that area, operation, whatever it was. Those guys went there. Boko Haram kidnapped the geologists.
Yes, now.
But it appeared the army was not even aware that geologists have been deployed to go and drill on their own, under their own nose or their watch. The matter now came on that those guys were missing.
They paid ransom.
Wait, listen to the story.
They were not killed, true.
They were killed. Hold on, I'm coming.
They paid ransom, but they killed them.
After a while, army spokesman announced to the whole world on live TV that the geologists had been rescued from the kidnappers. Then a reporter was told to go to Unimid to go and ascertain
if they had come
the
back
rescue
to school
of the kidnappers. He got into the school and found their corpses being brought in.
Jesus.
So if you're looking for geologists,
maybe it wasn't they rescued the body.
If you're looking for geologists to go and fix that kind of problem, have you addressed the tragedy
of insecurity
of the previous issues?
So, Jurasi, I mentioned that there were three things for me, right? The first one is that I'm shocked at Professor Zulum. The second one is Nigeria, did not do the part of dam that is supposed to protect us when Cameroon opens the door. The third part is that Maiduguri, 70% of it is underwater, right? Our vice president, Shefima, said we will send them rice. Any problem in Nigeria, solution is
Rice is
rice.
the
Not about survival.
Now they are in the IDP camps where they don't have toilets.
Which-
They will be
which-
defecating now.
which
They will be
IDP
defecating now on the mountains and all those
Hey, Ọlọ́run máa
You
jọ̀ọ́.
places.
You know the other interesting thing is this. This dam is actually a small dam.
Dalo Dam.
It's a small dam. So it's not even something.
It cannot reserve that water.
Yes, but
The
you
water
know,
will run over it.
the people handling this oil dam, Ogun River Basin Development Authority, what they've been doing is that all year round they release water. You may not notice it, but they keep releasing water. If you look at their bulletin, they will soon issue it. I think every October they issue their bulletin. So they will state how they have been releasing water, the quantity of water they've been releasing. So they keep releasing. That's why you see around October when
Everywhere gets flooded.
But you can see that, if you notice very well, it's not so bad that it enters the Long Beach. It's still bad, but at least.
Yeah, but it floats. It floats under
If
it.
water if they had been constantly releasing water, I don't think it will get to this problem. And then it's not rocket science that you can actually protect dams from overflowing. It's not rocket science.
Yes, now.
But the problem with us is that the very things that should actually give us relief are the things that pay problem. We produce oil.
And you know why it's like that. You know why it's like that. We are not adhering to the SDG goals.
Yes.
Okay, the SDG goals on climate
Sir,
change.
we didn't achieve the MDGs.
No, it's still ongoing.
Start from there.
It's still ongoing.
The MDGs we have not achieved.
That one is gone. That one is gone. They audited 17%, no, 15% performance. The world over. So now the SDG, we're not adherent to it. If we are, every state would have adopted a program on climate change. You know that this thing is fundamental. The environment impacts 50% of your life. It determines what you eat, pollution, your welfare, your health, everything is determined by the environment. So after your medical, public health care, the next thing is the environment. That environment, you have to feed it proper. You have to ensure that you have the right dams, you have the right
talking about dams.
Reservoirs.
I read yesterday that China has the world's largest hydroelectric dam. The three gorges. I saw the video yesterday. They said, so everybody was, making comments about these three gorges because it's a massive project. They use it not only to electrify their country, even their importation and things like that. Somebody now came on and said, the most important thing that nobody's mentioning is that these three gorges that actually slows down the Earth's rotation.
Yes, it does.
Yes.
How visionary leadership can affect the Earth's rotation.
You are just talking about the dams. Do you know that in 2020, the Chinese created their own moon?
Hey, whoa.
They have a moon now that supplies light to the city. They have their moon. So it's not just about dam is for me a lower technology.
You remember when flooding happened in Dubai last year, and everybody said that's when you tamper with nature because they found the technology of creating artificial rain.
Injected salt.
But these people not cultivating, they are cultivating rice in the desert.
What you do there?
So they will master
what they did in Dubai is when you see the cloud, they the cloud.
They blow hydrogen
they will inject
into the sky.
There's a kind of salt. They send it into the cloud. Then when it gets there, because salt actually brings rain, then it mixes with the cloud and tamper with the galaxy. Then the earth will release rain.
So when the rain now came, it was not too much for them.
No, what they don't work on is after the rain, how do you stop it when it starts? That's what they're working on now.
And they will master it.
So that they can call.
So that there will no longer be flooding.
They'll be using button to press it to start. When they look at it, they'll press again to stop. That's what they're going.
I saw a documentary.
During this thing. And these native doctors, sometimes they're unable to do it. Because they don't understand the science. They are not using voodoo. And voodoo have limitations.
No, they are not developing the science because we do have the science. I know native doctor that talks to
It's voodoo science.
we are not if we were developing at our own pace, we would have mastered all of this.
Yeah, you see,
voodoo science is extractive now.
It's called
the same way we extract oil and all those things. And sent to other places. So
we are not refining it.
We have the Ifa.
People are using you cannot compare
Google.
You cannot compare somebody
and they've left us.
You cannot compare somebody that is using technology to determine his own affairs with someone that is using Osoji and Kola Nut and Shinap to pour libation and invoke some cosmic forces. It's not the same. You need to use technology to subdue the stratosphere and get your
like
results.
Africans in the mud.
So we cannot.
We can only hope for the day Africa will come of age and take its destiny into its own hands. But when we return, are you safe at home? That would be the heart of the matter for Juro Olajumoke Alawode James. Do stay with us.
Middleman.